Eccoci qua.
Could it be so wrong when it feels so right? Maybe I should say something. Will you help me out? Take away the doubt. Say the word and I'm down. 'Cause I'll be everything you wanted, and I'll be everything you need. Would you tell me if I'm in the running? Give me anything at all, anything at all. Give me anything at all, anything at all. Hold me with the lights down low. There's nothing left to hide, no, no. I love it when you lie down slow. I'll be anything you want, anything you want. Hold me with the lights down low. There's nothing left to hide, no, no. I love it when you lie down slow. I'll be anything you want, anything you want. Hold me with the lights down low. There's nothing left to hide, no, you. I love it when you lie down slow. I'll be anything you want, anything you want.
Good morning to you all and welcome to the Global Supply Chain Meeting 2024. This is the 8th edition of our yearly meeting with the production supply chain of the Webuild Group. And when we talk about this supply chain, it's 19,400 suppliers. Many of them are sitting in this beautiful building at the Leonardo da Vinci Museum, Science and Technology. Many others are online connected to the meeting, and we welcome them. A very important meeting during while we'll be covering our future perspectives, the drivers that will bring the infrastructure industry to innovate and to focus on sustainability. And we'll do so by using a connecting thread, which is the title of this 8th edition, Together, to work together, grow together, design together, and we'll try to understand how to achieve this with our speakers. My name is Silvia Sgarabatti. I am a CNBC journalist. Here with me, Claudio Notarantonio, who is Global Supply Chain Director of Webuild. Hello, Claudio. Hello. Welcome to you all. Welcome back. This has become an institutional meeting. This is the 8th edition. We started back in 2016. This was a long journey, and allow me to say that this should be a relaxing moment. 1 hour off every year, during which we think of the objectives we achieved. We do align our strategies, our needs, so as to face together the challenges that the group has to meet in the future in all markets together with you. During this next hour, we'll be understanding what is together, what do we mean by together. And better than I can do, our honored guests, the speakers who will be explaining the company results, the strategies it deployed, the group direction. So I'll leave the floor to Silvia, who will be introducing our guests. Let's immediately start with our first speaker, Pietro Sallini, CEO of Webuild, who is connected online. Welcome.
Allora,
Good morning to you. Well, first of all, the infrastructure industry has been going through some deep changes with your drivers, training, innovation, and safety. We know that at global level, governments are making some massive investment in infrastructure. We also generate a return in terms of the GDP. Do you think that the right conditions are there? Do you think that we're doing the right things? Indeed. Well, first of all, there is a massive growing market, and that means for businesses such as ours, as there was our friends from the supply chain. By the way, first of all, I'd like to address all of you, thanking you for being with us, for having been with us and being part of our then track record. And by the way, let me tell you that the Webuild results we're seeing today do not come from scratch. They come from a long-standing vision. When I first started my career in a construction company that was my namesake, it was called Salini. Back then, we had about 40 million US dollars in sales. I mean, if we see where we've come today, so perhaps we should wonder how come we've come this far. I mean, it's easy to say it was the market, it was finance, it was a number of M&A deals. But I think that first and foremost, we've come this far because of the relationships with our suppliers, because many of those who are still with us today were there when we first started together. And we've come a long way together. So I'd like to thank them as well as other financial institutions, shareholders. But in addition to thanking them, I'd like to thank all of you for having been with us for such a long time all over the world. 19,400 businesses all over the world, as Silvia mentioned. This is a large community of people who have been working and growing together and also addressing this market together. The title of our meeting, the mantra is together. First of all, because there are no other options, because unless we do it together, we won't get anywhere. Skills, capabilities, innovations, products, and the professionalism of our supply chain partners are the key to our success. That's why we've grown so much together. When I first started, we were quite small, and many of our supply chain partners are now as small as we were, and they might be growing along the line thanks to their top management innovation, but we'll do that together. And I'd like our ability of being together will also be a growth engine for all of us, our ability to have a common future vision and also to work with our customers. What does construction mean in this constantly evolving world? Well, working in the construction industry means that both today and tomorrow will provide people with what they need globally. We now operate in 52 countries around the world, together with a large group of employees. We've got 99,000 employees, plus all our suppliers. You can well imagine how big a community we're talking about. A huge crowd of people who are working on this together. It's not because they're only goaded by money. Not only by that, but what they have is a vision of doing good in the communities they cater to. And that's a bit what the Italian Constitution talks about. It talks about responsible businesses. So businesses that work within our society and contribute to improving it. And that applies both the life of our supply chain partners, employees, customers, so in a word, all our stakeholders. And we share this vision. We share the same culture, the culture of doing things well, of innovating, of getting better and better trained and educated. And I think that's actually the essence of our times, where we're facing some radical changes. And sometimes we have to just forget what we have been doing until now. And that's what innovation means. We need to be able to give up what we learned with our experience and be ready to then take up new challenges made possible by current innovations. For decades or even centuries on end, our industry hasn't been innovating a lot. We are the only industry which throughout the 20th and also 21st century did not see their productivity growing that much when compared to our other industries. Now with BIM and other design technologies as well as AI, I think that our job will have to be revisited, and that also applies to the whole supply chain working with us, because we're all developing products people are asking for. Mrs. Salini, I'll stop you because we'll definitely take a closer look at AI, which is one of the most topical subjects, especially in the field of infrastructure. But could you please zero in on training education? Because I would imagine training education is really important in industries such as yours. What is happening in your opinion? Well, our industry has not invested a lot in training and education, traditionally speaking. In terms of training facilities, we were not ready, we were not mature enough to deal with this huge boom we find in our segment to make us more sustainable, to take up energy challenges and changing our lifestyles. So to date, we are facing a huge demand then originating from recovery and resilience plans following the COVID pandemic. Huge investments are being made throughout the world to stimulate growth, whilst at the same time we have then a profound change, namely the need for a more sustainable world and energy requirements. So the combination of these two has had profound repercussions on the construction industry. We have had to make a huge effort in order to meet demand. We don't all have the people we need to undertake this extra effort in production. Hence, the need to train and educate people, our people, to repurpose them and meet these demands. In Italy, Webuild, as a company, has designed a number of training courses for skilled labor because they were not there. We've got 31 ongoing construction sites, also as a result of the Italian National Resilience and Recovery Plan, which we call PNRR, and that also applies to other countries. So we've actually established 5 schools in Italy with simulators. We've also then invested in major investment plans, for instance, to refurbish TBMs. so that we could train these then skilled people. Otherwise, it would be impossible because we wouldn't have the right skilled labor. So we need to make a joint effort. And I think this is also under the heading together. Together is not just because we share the same invoicing scheme. Together means sharing a vision, a construction and production pattern and model, and growing all together whilst meeting the ultimate goal, namely serving our customers in a timely manner. So we are part of the army which develops what is needed by the population. So that's why we need to think in forward-looking ways. We need to understand what is needed to meet these challenges. Our contribution can come through then a professional and vocational training program, also health and occupational safety. When people think in terms of HSE, the man of the street will immediately think of being more careful as opposed to following the right procedures. But the HSE is quite a complex issue, also training and education, plus all the things we do together. And they will also have repercussions on our supply chain community. So working together means also developing a new way of working together, placing HSE at the very center of everything we do. Thank you so much, Pietro Salini, for introducing the proceedings. So keep up with the good work. Congratulations for what we have been doing. But let us continue. We have come to the time of talking about results in 2023 to take a look at market trends and take a look at the future. We'll do that with Massimo Ferrari, General Manager Webuild. Welcome, Massimo.
Good morning. Thank you for being with us. Let's start from 2023. This was a very positive year, globally speaking. We would like to know from you what are the best conditions to achieve good results in 2024 from your perspective, so that we can cover this with our supply chain representatives. Well, we definitely, as Mr. Salini said, we must move together. The international context has become more difficult, more challenging to all the players working in this industry. I also would like to underline some positive aspects that were hinted at by Mr. Salini. 1 year ago, in our meetings with investors, we defined this stage a paradigm shift. Apologies, but I hear an interference. Yes, we should be lowering your volume. Let's try again. Thank you very much. It's much better now. So there are macroeconomic drivers. We are on page 3 of my slides that affected both the growth and the quality of the growth that we posted. On one side, as you know, in the field of infrastructures, infrastructures must be made available because they are part of the strategy to fight climate change, to improve energy production efficiency, to face water scarcity, to improve mobility. So these are international targets that have been set by many governments, and they also become an integral part of each country budget. And this contributed changing many customers' perspectives because, as you know, we are a global group. And I'm saying so because recently we posted turnover increase. Even in Italy, our backlog was already significant in Italy, but we had a hard time in the past to perform all the contracts. Thanks to the RRF and the Italian government's initiatives, we managed to increase Italy's share to over 30%, still a minor percentage given the global pie chart. Anyway, these challenges allowed us to review the approach that is penalizing this industry, whose margin is very limited, maybe too limited given its risks, the risks it faces, the challenges it must meet in the construction sites, and the demanding customers. One element that considerably changed on the following slide is the awarding of tenders. As you can tell from this slide, the bottom left chart shows that 80% of the scores needed to be awarded a tender are not counted by price. Track record, technical features, and the timetable together with the ESG factors are significant parameters to be awarded a tender. And this is fully in line with the Salini Group at the time and the Webuild Group requirements. And also size is very important because size is not just a leading edge or a medal that you show proudly, but it has become a must in this industry to be able to be competitive with our infrastructure peers. And irrespective of the acquisitions we made in 2022 and 2023, and we hit a record, especially in Italy, Webuild has market share which is just 2% in the construction market, where our main competitors, such as the German ones, have domestic market shares which amount to at least 10%. So while in Italy we just have 2%. We grew a lot abroad thanks to these drivers, thanks to the fact that because of our size, we significantly invest on all these parameters that allow us to get significant technical scores when we talk about being awarded tenders. Another key element that you can see on the right, but I would skip to page 6, is the delivery. Over the past 10 years, we delivered 270 large infrastructures, and then Claudio might cover some of these in detail. Here you just see a list of the most iconic one, but there are others which are equally important, strategically important for the countries they were performed in. And we achieved this result by means of a size jump, as Mr. Salini said, moving from 11,400 employees to around 90,000, with a backlog that moved from 16 to 64 billion euro. And here we excluded the Messina Strait Bridge. We'll be including it when we'll be signing our agreement. 64 billion revenues is a level that few other peers reached. And even for those competitors who are just not in the construction field, this figure is unachievable. And the revenues increased from 2.3 billion to 10 billion in 10 years, and the year-end target should be 11 billion. Mr. Ferrari, what are the perspectives you would like to share with us to be competitive? Because the market is extremely competitive. Yes, the market is definitely very competitive, but we should be addressing our customers with great innovation solutions. You'll be covering this later. Innovation to be more productive, more efficient. Key is employees' safety. This is an important score for tenders, and also infrastructures should be built so as to be easy to maintain by the customer. And we are contributing to this thanks to many of the suppliers who are connected online and who are sitting in the room. And there is also another aspect that we should not be neglected. Size brings reputation. A small problem can have a huge impact, can have a domino effect. So many issues related to compliance, to health and safety, to innovation, to customer relationships, to the relationships we entertain with our supply chain, governed by contracts. More than that, the key aspect is the cultural alignment with our suppliers, because, as Mr. Salini said, the construction industry is lagging behind when we talk about productivity. It should be recovering this productivity thanks to technology, but also thanks to the professionalism and the know-how we all share to deliver our works timely. Thank you, Mr. Ferrari, General Manager Webuild. Thank you for connecting with our conference and enjoy your day. Thank you very much, Claudio. We'll be now introducing our sales plan with Claudio Lautizzi, who is the General Manager of Global Operations. So Webuild is connected online. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So we'll start on a positive note, since then the order book has been growing steadily, and the same applies to the first few months of this year. We'd like to talk about the large contracts which are distributed all over the world, and that applies both to traditional segments as well as to new entry segments. So you're definitely the most suitable person to share with us a snapshot of what is going on. After listening to Salini and Ferrari, it won't be easy for me to add anything. But if we take a look at our accomplishments, you can clearly see that they originate from the strategic partnerships we have with the whole of the supply chain, people like you. And this partnership starts from the engineering phase, where we develop innovative ideas, which then continue all along the construction journey. This is a win with Mattership, especially in the tendering step, because these partnerships then aims at providing products based on innovation, sustainability, compliance, health and safety, as Mr. Salini pointed out, as well as economic competitiveness. Even though economic competitiveness is no longer the primary criteria, it's still essential. So we need to abide by all these criteria whilst being economically competitive. So if you have a successful bid, they will all win. As you can see, we were able to achieve a 16 billion backlog for a company such as ours with 10 billion revenues. This is an amazing accomplishment, and I think we are a unique industry. Nobody has such a ratio. It used to be 17 in 2012. I don't want to talk about the very beginning when it was only $40 million, and unfortunately I'm old enough to be there. And that 64 billion, half in Italy, one-third Middle East, Australia, North America. I must say that Italy made a huge leap in the last few years, thanks to the PNRR plan, especially in the field of sustainable electricity and green buildings. Here you see our footprint around the world. Saudi Arabia, Australia, North America, less so in Central Asia, India, and in some select African countries. We have about 150 main ongoing projects. In 23 and 24, we achieved 28 billion euros in new orders and contracts, as you can see. Our footprint is focused on the low-risk geographies. All new contracts are concentrated in Italy, 11 billion, 6 and 6 respectively, Australia and the Middle East, almost exclusively Saudi Arabia. We're still present in North America. We have been strengthening our footprint in Canada, as well as the United States. New contracts are mainly found in our core traditional segments, infrastructure, hydro, water, as well as a new entry segment such as data centers, especially with our Swiss CSC, Gigafactory US, and major transmission lines in Australia. We are talking about contracts worth a few billion euros. Oil and gas plants for power generation after we acquired the Clough. So we started working there. We also have an important urea plant. It's in the energy segment because it's about transforming this energy, this power for a new type of battery, and that will pave the way to new sectors. Mr. Lautizzi, I'll stop you because I'd like to drill down even further. Let's take a closer look at commercial projects you've been working on in Italy and elsewhere. Where have you been focusing on mainly? we are having a boon here. I mean, we have been working in this field for decades, and I can tell you that I've never seen such a massive and open market with huge projects. Never actually seen it before. And despite we had following the COVID pandemic, which first led to a slowdown and then to an acceleration, global acceleration of new infrastructure and construction, so thereby stimulating the GDP. Still, for the 2024-2027 period, we are projecting a steady ongoing market growth. U.S. Are projected to grow by 7.5%. In Ontario, in Canada, we have a 70 billion euro pipeline already there to be well positioned. The Middle East is boosted by Saudi Arabia, as we can all see. Australia has been going steadily because of the energy transition and the new hospital programs, and we're there. And in Europe, we still have an exciting rhythm of infrastructural development projects. You know, Salerno, Reggio Calabria, motorway, seaports, and the like. Our commercial pipeline amounts to about 72 billion euros, of which 12 billion come from bids we have already submitted. So we'll just have to hear how many have been won by us. 15 billion are tenders to be submitted, and the rest, 44 billion, come from other ongoing commercial activities such as new joint ventures and consortia, yet making us even stronger in than submitting winning bids. As for the near future, in Italy, we'll be focusing on the delivering of PNRR funded projects. And that's a rather tough challenge in that they have deadlines attached to that. So we only have so many days that we can apply and deploy our resources to, not just in terms of people, but also in terms of the supply chain. So these resources and assets are critical to both of us. So we're all called to make a huge effort together. We are currently a leading company in the Italian PNRR, so we need to we cannot hesitate. And then, as I said, we've got the Salerno-Reggio Calabria high-speed projects, ports, and also hydroelectric projects. The Messina Strait Bridge was already mentioned. It is not yet reflected into our business plan, but we are looking at it with a lot of attention. And I say that all the assumptions are there for this to be rolled out. We are still proceeding in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. And I must say, some of the NEO projects are really interesting construction projects. And then we've got Diria, Molara, all these other projects are part of the 2030-2050 vision of the royal family of Saudi Arabia. And then in 2034, the FIFA World Cup will take place there, and in 2030, the Expo. So we're actually planning to acquire some new interesting projects. North America is still a fundamental market for us. The U.S. were the first to start building infrastructure. And if you travel around the US, you'll see the infrastructure is extremely obsolete. They're far reach what we're seeing in new Asian markets. Australia is our main asset. We are number 4 in the country, the number 4 player. Not only have we acquired the new skills and technology, but we have been working on volumes too. So our growth originates from us together with you. And in 24 and 25, we're planning to go beyond a threshold of 3 billion. So we should become player number 2 or 3. As for Australia, we'd like to explore then new opportunities in Southeast Asia, countries such as Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines, who have massive infrastructure investment projects we are not losing sight of. So I'd like to urge all of you to join your forces with us, because by working together, we have shown to be able to win together. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you, Mr. Lautizzi. Claudio, together seems to be the name of the game. So all people have been talking about it as a mantra.
There's going to be a specific moment devoted to AI, and this is something I'd like to discuss with you. This is a technology that has percolated in all industries. I'll try to understand from you in what ways Webuild and its supply chain is relying on this. And you have an interesting case history. After these 3 speeches, I won't be capable of raising your attention anyway. Let's say that to manage complicated systems, you need to digitize. You cannot manage a system unless you are aware of what you are managing, the system you're managing, i.e. you need a digitization process that drives towards a more effective and efficient processes, and it also tries to enhance, increase productivity, contributing to the achievement of quality and safety objectives, because by means of digitization, you can introduce technological innovation and be compliant. Some years ago, we did realize that our business model was extremely complicated, not much in terms of revenues, because 10 billion euro, if compared with other industries, is just a small share, but complexity, because we're moving along 2 axes. Product one, because it is difficult to have a company with such a broad range of products as we do, because we build roads, ports, airports, bridges, waterworks, stadiums. So you can well understand that to build a stadium is not just like building an underground network. And we are also present in 52 countries with 52 different accounts, different cultures, different languages, even different legislation, because you know very well that we must be compliant with the regulations of the countries we work in. So we looked around us and we said that there were no products available off the shelf that could meet our needs. This is the reason why we started developing these products. We invested on technological platforms and we developed some tools. One of them is the new procurement, Webuild procurement platform, because it is your interface. Whenever you work with Build, you must interface with this procurement platform, where we have already introduced the most advanced technologies, because they are already introduced systems that from the need manage the sourcing process automatically up to the placement of the order. We already implemented AI algorithms on machine learning for marketing intelligence activities, and now we have reached a new frontier. We have taken a new leap, and we have introduced the Gen AI, and I believe we are the first. No other platform in the world has already an avatar like we have, an avatar supporting the platform features. Today, it is 100% devoted to in-house users, supporting in-house users in the use of platforms. In the second half of 2024, this will become the supply chain interface. So by the end of 2024, you all have our avatar at your disposal so as to meet your needs in the with respect to the procurement platform. This will become the official interface between the Webuild world and our global supply chain. So the time has come in the preview to introduce to you Leo.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm Leo, and I am a virtual assistant supporting users with the correct utilization of Webuild's procurement platform. Today, I help Webuild users, and soon I will also be able to support our suppliers. Let's see together how.
Hi Leo, how can I construct the vendor list for a tender?
To find vendors for a tender, access the My Buyer or RFX creation tile, then navigate to Pre-RFX tab, click Add Vendors, search by region, country, commodity, supplier status, turnover, rating, or EBITDA. Then select desired vendors before adding them to the list. Can I help you with anything else?
Yes, I have one more question. How do I attach a document within a bid?
To include a document in a bid's general section, access the bid via the My Buyer or RFX creation tile. Then, navigate to the Attachments tab, click Add Attachment to upload the document, then provide a description, and choose the preferred visibility settings. Finally, click Attach File to finalize. Can I help you with anything else?
No, thank you for your support, Leo.
Thank you, Claudio, for the stage. I am happy to have met you all, and I look forward to supporting suppliers in the near future. See you soon.
Bye, Leo. A big round of hands for Leo is one of us. Given the location, we are organizing this meeting. Out of curiosity, why did you decide to give this name Leo? First, we were looking for a name that could suggest support. There were some who said Pietro, Peter, but then we opted for Leo, and of course it is named after Leonardo da Vinci, the genius, the engineer by definition, who thanks to his discoveries and invention contributed to the innovative and technology growth of mankind. We are still using some of his discoveries, some of his principles, and as he represents a landmark for engineering activities, and given that he was a pioneer in the field of infrastructures, we told ourselves who better than Leo can support us in the development of the platform features. But believe me, Leo will become more and more invasive when using this platform, because from being a support, it will also become our partner. Claudio, Leo was seen by 5,200 people. More than 5,200 people are connected online from Romania, the United States, Australia, so across the world. 180 people in this room, so you get an accurate idea of how many people are following us today. Let's speak about AI again. I'd like to welcome Professor Carlalberto Carnevale Maffei from S.p.A. Bocconi School of Management, who can cover the importance of AI. Dear Professor, Digital innovation is also directly affecting the construction sector, which had remained somewhat on the sidelines of technology evolution. And indeed, we have been using grabs for 2,000 years. So what are, anyway, the main trends that will impact the sector?
Well, the first thing is a platform for AI. There is a paradigm shift, as Ferrari said. I think that the title of this meeting is wrong because we're talking about a supply chain. There's a longer supply chain, but it's an organizational model which changes because of the advent of AI, which is not just a technology, but it's a change in organizational principles. That's what Webuild is asking all of its partners. We can't even call them suppliers anymore because they are called to do a different job. They need to partake in a project to construct a platform. Gen AI is the name of the game. Let me just show you the global market growth of generative AI. So AI is going to grow by a factor of 10, and the same applies to the construction market. It will be growing 25% a year for the next 10 years. And that's a clear major. Either you'll be investing an extra 25% a year to be part of the platform, or else you'll be losing some market share. And this combination between the platform and Gen AI means that the cultural change of our listeners need to be essential, as Claudio pointed out. Stop selling, because Claudio won't be buying anything anymore. For those who have not understood that we're going from provision to strategic partnership. And so that's why the AI is a civilization driver. AI is not just a product you can buy or sell, but it's a service that is applies to the data sharing ability. And that's what I think. The supply chain will become a platform, so no longer a chain. So just move on. You need to change the architecture. If we have a successful bid together, there will be organizational accomplishment. As Salini said, the price is no longer the only winning criteria, but compliance, sustainability, transparency, and these are all intangibles. As long as the vendor culture consists of concrete, steel, machines, and steel, as opposed to heading more and more towards an intangible-based culture, this new platform model won't take ground. So we need to stop thinking just in terms of exchanging physical, tangible stuff as opposed to data. We won't be efficient in building this new platform. But these widely discussed innovations, do they actually have the potential of improving productivity? And what about the link between the new robotic and automation technology and AI? What would be the actual benefits? We have been seeing the AI as part of organizational process for at least 10 years. And as you can see, the dotted line is a human baseline, and then we've got some MPs who are below the threshold, but that's the average human baseline. And you see that the various skills are quite superimposable. And we have been measuring the impacts of specific business functions. However, human interface using language, documents, and mail will be deeply influenced. So that's what Gen AI is doing with words and concepts. It's automating relationships, thereby increasing productivity, and also then removing barriers, information asymmetries, and allocation conflicts. Interestingly, many of the white-collar jobs will be impacted. The technology disruption is already within plants and factories, and it's escalating to white collars. As you can see, the impact AI will have a business functions such as sales, marketing, and even then the legal department, which is great news. We'll get rid of some of the councils. And since I know you're smiling, but it's really difficult to get rid of councils, but they will be impacted too. Let me also draw attention on the asymmetry all over the world. So the effects is proportional to the amount of data available. There will be then most digitized countries will be growing more and more, because unless we learn how to exchange data as opposed to pieces of material, we won't be able to ride this productivity increase wave, because you see the highest increases are found in those countries with the highest digitalization. And then AI is instrumental to take robotics to the construction site where we only had human beings working. You know how difficult that is for our industry, because it's difficult for human beings to work in safe conditions. So all these skills are supported. And then one final thing, as Claudio knows, and venture capitalists too, the VC and private equity investment in the AI construction center has outpaced the overall VC space. So either you get a move on, or else all the startups, the young ups who are being massively funded, will become challenger for you. You can't just rest on your laurels because you're part of the large Webuild family, because we've got this huge replacement cycle, then define incumbents. So that's why you need to speed up your investment as well as organizational processes, because otherwise you won't be drawing young talents, because in addition to money, you need to be sexy and attract young talents who are the secret for future success. Since we're heading towards the end of our common talk, we know there is a discussion going on. There are people who are afraid of AI and new technologies. They are afraid it's going to jeopardize jobs. How would you address such a question, such a concern? Since we've got people sticking behind AI, we will survive. AI is not a replacement technology. It's a technology to expand and support. We won't have enough people to feed the AI. I think that in Italy we need to change our vocabulary. We talk far too much about ethics, morality, and far too little about productivity organizational models. Let me wrap by saying that the critical step would be to change organizational models. On the right-hand side, you find the workflows for construction side. So that will be replaced by Claudio's avatar. So we're transforming the value chain into an ecosystem that comes from McKinsey and Company with other constellation, digital twins, robotic models, AI, as well partnership platforms. That's what the construction site will turn into. It needs to become a digital ecosystem, because otherwise we won't have the many necessary steps. So construction is the most important global industry, because that's the face of our planet. You do leave marks on this planet. They stay for centuries, and that's why you need to be accountable, because AI is a commitment to accountability. The construction, together with manufacturing, the two most important industries that will be impacted by the automation process. AI is not about documents, about translating knowledge into automation. That's a major challenge. So that's why we should no longer talk about supply chain cloud. We should talk about the whole ecosystem or platform. So you should stop thinking just in terms of sales, you should think in terms of the seven model, because the semitization is a natural environment for AI, because it turns a product into a service which becomes intangible and digital measure, and therefore can feed into the knowledge base. It also become then a transparency a charter, because we're mainly talking about public administration than as a client. And that's the only way to the future. I am no longer content with the size that we're working for you. I want a transparency pact between the various stakeholders so that if you build something, then you need to take a full-time commitment. Thank you very much for your take-home message. Thank you, and keep up with the good work.
Claudio, after professor's speech, I must say that I made a mistake in calling this the Global Supply Chain Meeting. And secondly, we should be replacing you, Vinicio, as our general accountant. You are no longer necessary. You'll be replaced with an avatar. He doesn't seem to be very happy. Of course, I'm joking, and he's joking. Claudio, so let's come back to us. Let's draw some conclusions. We touched upon different topics. Yes, the title is wrong, but together is still conveying clear message to all those who are connected and are in this room. How is the relationship with the supply chain changing, and what is the mission? Let's have a look at some figures. Let's understand how we performed in 2023 as we build in our supply chain perspective. As you can see, we bought for 7 billion in 2023, where 60% was accounted for by the Italian market. This year, 2024, we expect 9.5 billion being awarded, with the balance being struck by what would be awarded in Italy for Italian projects with respect to the projects awarded for the rest of the world. Given my age, I was not there when the group was posting 40 million, but I became a part of this group when the group posted 4.5, and at the time Italy accounted for just 7%. Today it accounts for 60%. What happened over the past few years? I became a member of Webuild 8 years ago. We fully disrupted the configuration of our supply base and chain. This means that we could afford this because we had a supply base that followed us, that was resilient and flexible, and that invested on the main drivers to us: quality, compliance, safety, and sustainability, ESG objectives. Back in 2020, we spoke about sustainability in our business model. This is 4 years ago, and these are the parameters we are using to source our suppliers and to assess their performance during the project running. So these are the main features that you must invest on. If we look at the curve projected, we can see that what does green and yellow and red mean? Green are the suppliers performing based on our key targets: quality, compliance, safety, and ESG, while yellow are the suppliers with a gap, red suppliers with a significant gap with respect to these 4 drivers. In 2020, together with other partners from other industries, we developed tools to be made available to our supply chain so that they could focus on sustainability and ESG objectives, and we also provided them with a department to support you in this endeavor. So as you see, the trend has been improving, but this is not enough. We must keep investing in this direction. And then we also realized a further aspect, because as we have been saying, to be competitive across the world, we have to work together. What do we mean by together? We would like to change our paradigm as Professor Maffei said, so no longer think of the sales activities. And we do not want a relationship, a partnership, traditional partnership relationship with you. We want to do something different. And when I spoke about engagement 2 years ago, we worked on this. Now engagement means together. Together means that we are faced with challenges, but our size as a group and geographically, is everything okay? Yes, I became emotional listening to how large you are. Yes, anyway, this allows us to carry out very innovative projects together. Innovative means improve quality, improve product quality, reducing delivery lead time, employees' safety, and also focusing on ESG objectives. The first result we introduced last year, and this is the first fully automated precast factory. This factory we developed together with you. It is already operational. Soon we'll be building others in Italy. So it is fully automated. All the activities that were dangerous were replaced by robots, are performed by robots, so enhanced safety. It recycles rainwater and meets 70% of our water needs, in some time of the year even 80%, and the energy is clean. This allowed us to increase productivity. A segment in a traditional factory is manufactured in 10 minutes. Our objective is 6.4 minutes for the production of a segment. So this was a big improvement. But this is not enough. This was just the first step. We must rely on this. But we also told ourselves, what is the Webuild group? What are our main features? Our skills are leading in the world, and indeed we are a leader in the tunneling, in mechanized excavation. So we said, let's take a step forward, given that we invested on the so-called TBMs, these huge machines, tunnel boring machines. Soon we'll reach a fleet of 60 machines. We decide to invest on a factory that can refurbish these machines, these TBMs, together with you, in partnerships with the world leader in manufacturing TBMs and the small-sized companies in Italy. We built the first TBM refurbishment factory. What does this mean? That we'll be refurbishing TBMs that have already been used, will improve productivity, technological innovation, and safety. With a circular economy system in place. So many opportunities that we must grab, that we are developing together with you, and we want to keep working together with you. Let's watch our last video. Thank you very much. Here we are again. So we already analyzed all these projects, and this is one of the many that we are working on. The time has come to draw some conclusions because we kept you busy this hour, those together with us today. And so I'd like to go back to this together. This means that we are currently considering the strategic activities that the group can perform, and we are looking for partners. We will shift our paradigm. We are looking for partners with whom to do business. On one side, there are those like you with the technical expertise, and we who have the size and the competence to develop a new sustainable model that can cut costs, enhance productivity, improve quality. And I keep repeating this in view of employees' safety, compliant with our principles. So no time to waste. We must invest in innovation together. We must invest on digitization together, because digitization will support the innovation of complicated systems, and our world is becoming more and more complicated. Competitiveness is no longer local. We do not know what will happen after the RRF in Italy. The investment market will be reducing in Italy. We must be competitive outside of Italy, but if you want to be competitive, complexity will increase. And complexity will also increase for you. And to invest, you must be aware of what you already own and digitize. This to achieve a sustainable business model. And the time has come to act in this direction, because if we want to be competitive in this market, this is the right time, because it is just together that we can build. We build. Thank you very much. A big round of hands for Claudio. This is the 8th edition, and it is thanks to you and all the people who were in the backstage organizing this event. And also thank you very much to the 5,200 people connected across the world. We would like to say goodbye to them, and all the people are here in this room. Thank you, Claudio, for choosing me as a moderator. I also would like to thank our communication team, the top management who participated, and all those who are connected online, because without you, we wouldn't be building our works. Thinking of the future, you're also already working on the 9th edition. So see you soon, and watch the video. Thank you.
My most illustrious Lord, I shall endeavor to make myself understood to your excellency for the purpose of unfolding to you my secrets, and thereafter offering them at your complete disposal. And when the time is right, bringing into effective operation all those things which are in part briefly listed below. I have plans for very light, strong, and sturdy bridges, convenient to lift and place in position. I know how to remove water from moats. I have means of arriving at a designated spot through secret winding passages constructed completely without noise. I believe I can give as complete satisfaction as any other in the field of architecture and the construction of both public and private buildings, and in conducting water from one place to another. And if any of the above-mentioned things seem impossible or impracticable to anyone, I am most readily disposed to demonstrate them in your park or in whatsoever place shall please your excellency, to whom I commend myself with all possible humility.
more like